All right, so I had another segment planned for today, but this Twitter account named Disinformation Tracker uploaded like a 16-minute compilation of Asmongold. I guess in the moment that Asmongold pretty much was like celebrating the death and like pretty much shitting on the grave of a mother who died with 3 kids from the Minnesota ice shooting that happened. It's pretty disgusting stuff. Like, I think Asmongold like throws it. It's interesting how Asmongold is willing to throw a fucking tantrum when somebody on the right dies, and he like gets very emotional and very upset about it. But then suddenly when somebody on the left dies, who absolutely did not deserve to die, by the way, like you could tell if you watch the video, that ICE agent was more focused on shooting the fuck out of that woman than actually caring about anything. You could see that Asmongold is totally fine with saying that she deserved it and pretty much justifying her death because I guess he feels based and he's like a nihilist and he thinks it's fucking base to be a nihilist. So I guess we're gonna watch like this 16-minute compilation. I think this is a very solid react to do.
Because I know that the way that I look at things is insane to most other people. I'm fully aware of this. I know this.
Because you think being a nihilist is cool, and you're aware of it, and you still give the takes, I guess?
And my argumentation and the way that I see things is just totally wrong in the eyes of most people. And the reason why, and that's the big reason why I have problems dealing with like other people a lot, is because my solutions to problems are oftentimes so extreme and so immoral and, you know, like inhumane that people, like, because I don't really see people.
The reality is that Asmongold is somebody who gets a lot of validation when he has base takes online. And Asmongold sees that and he continues to push him further and further and further. And we have to remember, Asmongold never leaves his house. Like, he's a fucking terminally online baby. He never leaves his fucking house, and he thinks that he's, like, based in giving these takes. So that's why he does it. That's the real reason he does it. Not because he thinks that these are correct solutions to give to problems.
As people in a lot of cases. I just see them as, like, an object or a functionary tool. And this has been a problem my whole life. And so, basically, like, I have a very different perspective on the way that I see things in the world. You think about...
I really don't think we should be listening to people who grew up as like a welfare baby and then got famous and then let his teeth rot out of his fucking skull and decided to get into politics and is still a fucking infant on politics because he thinks that looking at his Twitter feed gets him politically educated on the entirety of the world.
Killing random people? Yeah, all the time. Constantly. All the time.
I have to listen to that again, by the way, because I totally paused at an awkward time.
Things in the world. You think about killing random people? Yeah, all the time. Constantly. All the time. Yeah, if somebody makes me mad or something like that, yeah, of course. I could not drive down the road without thinking about every pedestrian and if I could run them over or not.
So, here's the thing, right? I think a lot of people have these thoughts. Like, I feel like if Asmongold was to frame it saying, like, okay, you know, I get, like, these intrusive thoughts of wanting to kill these people. Like, I get them, too. I think a lot of people do, quite frankly. More than they care to admit. I've had them my whole life, quite frankly. And there were periods of time where I thought I was, like, insane or crazy for thinking these things. But, like, as long as it's a thought and you don't act upon it, it's fine. Like, really. Like, the problem is that we've seen Asmongold justify the murder of people multiple times. So, like, the way he's framing it here, I'm not inclined to be charitable to Asmongold in the way he thinks here, because we've seen him justify the death of Palestinians. We've seen him justify the death of Venezuelans getting bombed disproportionately and indiscriminately. And now with this, like, Minnesota ICE lady, he completely justified her dying, even though she's a mother of 3, and she wasn't even an illegal immigrant. And that ICE agent, if you actually watch the video, the correct take is that ICE agent wanted to fucking kill that person. Like, it's pretty obvious, because he pulled out the gun before he sidestepped.
For, like, 3 months. I was going in on this because I spent so much time around people over on Call of Duty. It's the call of the void. You're describing psychopathy. Well, either way, I don't let things like this affect me at all or bother me. And then he pops her off. He shoots her right.
Okay, well, I mean, if you say so. Okay, now we're talking about the Minnesota ICE killing.
Right here. Yeah, there it is. You see right there. Oh, wow. And then he shoots her. Gotcha, bitch. And then he shoots her a couple more times to finish her off. Absolutely rip fucking bozo. The only
I just, like, again, here's the thing, right, is Asmongold is the kind of person, you see a lot of white supremacists use this tactic. A lot of white supremacists will rage bait people, and then the moment a leftist beats the shit out of them, which they deserve it, by the way, they absolutely deserve to get the shit beaten out of them, but, like, the moment they get the shit beaten out of them, suddenly that gives them ammunition to be like, oh my god, I'm the victim of a violent political attack or whatever. That gives them ammunition to say that. So now you don't want to fall into, like, the rage bait, because this is what Asmongold does. He's a fucking terminally online baby who let his teeth rot out of his skull. He thinks he's politically educated. He's not. Asmongold's stupid as shit. He's a fucking, like, I've tried to be charitable, but, like, I think as time has gone on, Asmongold's brain fog has kicked in so much that he actually, like, legitimately loses IQ points. Like, I legitimately think that's what happened. Asmongold used to actually be, like, a fairly normal person back in, like, the older days of Twitch, but ever since, like, something happened to Asmongold, where I don't know if it was the fucking Palestinian take that he had, I don't know if it was a little bit before that or after that, but Asmongold got insanely fucking radicalized into, like, being extraordinarily right-winged. And so, like, Asmongold now just feels the need to just, like, be an absolute, like, Asmongold is, like, we have to understand, he's not a centrist, he is, like, insane right, like, he plays off the, oh, I'm a centrist game. Asmongold is a far-right cocksucker, like, he's absolutely extremely right-wing. And to have takes like this, it's disconnected from reality. It's disconnected from reality to say, rip bozo, this woman deserves to die because she wasn't an illegal immigrant. She was just trying to drive away from ICE. Even though you can literally see in the video, he pulls out his gun and he starts shooting her as she's driving away. She's not even a threat to them. You could tell the ICE agent was not actually, like, threatened by her at all, because if he was, he would sidestep out of the car immediately. He didn't feel threatened whatsoever. You could tell he was more threatened with killing her if you actually watch the video. But if you're uneducated and you're fucking stupid as shit like Asmongold's stupid. He's incredibly fucking stupid, and he is completely enveloped by brain fog. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Like, at this point, if you don't think that, then you're just not living in reality. I don't know what else to tell you. Asmongold's a fucking moron. He literally, like, this is the moronic take, saying that she deserved to die. Meanwhile, you get upset when people are angry at ICE for robbing people without due process and deporting people without due process, and you get upset when people start protesting against them, and you also seem to get upset saying that, like, left-wing violence is greater. It's not. Statistics throughout history prove otherwise. Left-wing violence is not greater. Asmongold is just saying that because he wants to suck the dick of his right-wing audience. That's literally it. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, Asmongold disguises himself as a centrist, but he sounds reasonable. The reason why he can use that plausible deniability language is because he sounds reasonable. But just because you sound reasonable doesn't mean you're not you're a centrist.
And then he shoots her a couple more times to finish her off. Absolutely rip fucking bozo.
This is a terminally online take, just to be clear.
The only thing you have to do is crush them. You crush them completely. You never go, like, after you say, basically after you run one of them over, right? Or you shoot one of them for trying to run you over, then you victory lap around it and you send in more people and you do it even more.
So just to be clear, if this was a left-wing person doing this to an ICE agent, Asmongold would be throwing a fucking tantrum. He would be crying his head off. He would be so upset. Just to be absolutely clear, Asmongold is not somebody who lives by principles. He doesn't care about morals. He doesn't care about anything whatsoever. He thinks it's cool to be a nihilist, and he thinks it's fucking amazing to just say fuck the world, and that's it. Like, okay, like, what do you contribute, Asmongold? What do you do meaningfully for society? Nothing.
They have to crush the other side.
That's right. 100 fucking %.
Oh my god, they have to crush the other side.
Destroy everything about them.
Anytime somebody has positive sentiment to Nick Fuentes, who is a legitimate racist, dogshit, white supremacist, like, immediate red flag. Immediately, like, a red flag that Asmongold is, like, over-validating this shit.
Put the mayors in jail, put the governors up on the Insurrection Act for sedition.
Wow, so true, Asmongold.
Put all the people that were doing the shit in front of the detention centers.
So true, King.
Put them in mandatory prison labor camps.
Slavery is so based! Slavery is so fucking based! Oh my god!
Authorize the police officers to respond with violence to them. Bring in the military if you need.
Yeah, okay. Bring in the military. Only somebody who's extremely terminally online and scrolls through Twitter can have a take like this. Just to be clear. Like, it makes sense why Asmongold is not as politically educated as he makes himself out to be. He's a total fucking idiot, stupid person.
To look and find out who's funding this, take those people, charge them with incitement for terrorism, put them in Guantanamo Bay. Like, I'm talking about scorched earth, Old Testament, get them the fuck out.
But don't firebomb Teslas or throw bricks at ICE. Don't ever do that. But kill these other motherfuckers. Literally, I think it's insane that Asmongold can virtue signal about Hassan, which, by the way, I don't think Hassan's a good person. I'm not a Hassan defender. But I think it's interesting that Asmongold can virtue signal about Hassan making calls to violence, and he literally, Asmongold constantly makes calls to violence on stream all the fucking time. All the time, Asmongold makes calls to violence, and people fucking just hand wave it. They think it's fine because the dominant narrative is in the right.
And by the way, my position is the moderate position. There are a lot of people in the in the audience that want to do way worse than that. A lot of people in the country that do. Yeah, 1 hour ago, 1,000 comments. Oh, people are crying about this. They're getting mad. Centrist, by the way, this is the centrist position.
No, it's not. How is over-validating a white supremacist a centrist take? Are you fucking dumb? The answer is yes. Asmongold is incredibly fucking stupid. He, is completely enveloped by brain fog. No. Asmongold this is not a centrist take. It is not a centrist take to say that a woman deserves to get shot by a random fucking ICE agent. It is not a centrist take to say that people should be put into slave camps or be forced to do slavery. It is not a centrist take to say that hate speech should be allowed. Because that is a take that Asmongold had. I reacted to a short where Asmongold thinks it's hate speech should be brought back. Just because it's legal, I guess. Okay, even though slavery is legal, which I guess Asmongold doesn't care about slavery. He thinks we should bring back slavery. No normal centrist gives takes that over-validate hateful positions.
And you're gonna cry about this.
We also have to remember, if somebody says they're a centrist in 2026 or 2025, we have to remember the centrist in this political environment, you're in between insane right and normal left. That is what a centrist is, basically. A lot of people will say that, but they will only criticize left-leaning people and never give a shit about what the right does, ever. They never criticize the right, ever, and that's what Asmongold is. Just because you sound normal doesn't make you a centrist. Just because you appear as normal in some cases.
You're gonna bitch about this, but you've got 3 more fucking years of it. And you know what else? Whenever the next election comes around, I and a lot of other people are gonna vote for somebody who is even more extreme than Trump.
What? We have to remember, Asmongold didn't even vote. Asmongold never leaves his fucking house. He never leaves his house. He just stays in his house and lets his fucking teeth rot out of his skull, and he drinks Coke all day. He never fucking leaves. Literally, that's the reason I know Asmongold didn't vote. The only time Asmongold votes is if he, does, mail-in votes. But other than that, Asmongold has never fucking left his home.
Because I don't think Trump's doing enough. I do believe everything that I said, and I think that he should go even farther than that.
So we got a guy...
Right, okay, so that's a dog whistle that Trump should make a call to violence. Got it. Cool. Thanks, Asmongold. Really so based of you.
We got somebody on Twitter saying that...
Again, no normal centrist thinks what Asmongold is doing is normal.
I would rationalize gas chambers for people.
Oh, you absolutely would. You absolutely would. You justify people dying in America. You justify people getting killed in America. Yeah, you absolutely would rationalize gas chambers. You are definitely the type of person that would do that.
Bro, take your meds. So we going straight to the Holocaust. Oh my God.
The person you just over-validated in the last clip, Nick Fuentes, the person you just validated hates Jewish people and thinks that Hitler was a cool guy. You literally just did. Don't pretend like you wouldn't, he's crazy for having this take. Just to be clear, you absolutely would.
I'm not going to cry a fucking river when people who have genocide that's baked into their laws are getting genocided. I don't give a fuck. They're terrible people. Yup.
Amazing take, Asmongold. That's, by the way, that take was during the whole Israel-Palestine thing in late 2024, in October specifically. That's when that clip resurfaced. Asmongold, I think it would be one thing to be listen, my empathy for these people are not not where it should be, because like Hamas like has committed a lot of war crimes themselves, and they're awful as well. So like I would understand that, right? Like Hamas there are a terrorist group, so I could understand, like, because the reality is you don't have to care about something, you don't have to have empathy for something. And, like, we gotta stop pretending like we should be, like, forcing empathy onto people. That's not the way we get people to understand the horrific atrocities that Israel is committing to Palestine. Which it is, like, they are war crimes, just to be clear. But, like, the problem is that Asmongold wasn't having that take. Asmongold was literally justifying Palestinians dying because they have an inferior culture, and he was using that as, like, a dog whistle to say that they deserve to die. That was what was problematic about his take, and he absolutely deserved to get banned for that. He claims to have apologized for it, but I don't think Asmongold really means it, because I think the reality is that Asmongold had a base take, he got a lot of backlash for it, and then he was like, yeah, my bad, just because he was, like, playing up to optics a little bit, and then he wound up going even further insane. Like, he's like justifying the death of a fucking Minnesota mother who thinks that it's okay to kill her, even though she's not even an illegal immigrant. She didn't even do anything wrong to the police. She was just driving away. We also have to remember, ICE is not police. Like, they might as well be the fucking Gestapo. And I know somebody got upset in one of my shorts that I was making a false equivalence. Listen, I hear you. Like, I get that the Gestapo in World War II was awful. Hot take, they're bad, right? But we have to remember, Trump was using them for his own purposes, and he's using them as if it was his own Gestapo, right? Like, they have raided places, they have constantly taken away people's rights, they have deported people without due process. We need to, like, extend, like, just because they are illegal immigrants doesn't mean they don't have rights. But yeah, okay, we're gonna just pretend Asmongold has all the correct takes, I guess. Asmongold only appears to, like, the insanely far-right people. That's, like, the only people Asmongold appears to. He's not a centrist. He is, like, insane right.
Y'all really gotta dial down this rhetoric. Like, not everything's the Holocaust. Not everybody is Hitler. They are not the same as us. They come from an inferior culture, and it is directly antithetical to everything Western values stand for, and it is an inferior culture in all ways.
Yeah, so it's very interesting that Asmongold virtue signals about how bad the Holocaust was and then justifies a genocide going on in Palestine. Very interesting.
You're making your side look like irrational, belligerent, unreasonable, psychotic extremists.
This is funny to me. This is so insanely funny to me, and it's also insanely fucking hypocritical that Asmongold can have this take when he sits here and makes calls to violence all the fucking time on Twitch, and he justifies people dying on his streams. This is insanely funny to me. That, like, Asmongold could just sit here. Like, I am convinced he has goldfish memory. Like, Asmongold will say one thing and then contradict himself the next moment. He doesn't fucking care. This guy does not give a shit about anything he talks about. Anyone who thinks otherwise is fucking stupid at this point. Asmongold doesn't know what the fuck he's saying.
They'd be doing the same thing. Oh.
Yep, and he's justifying the death of Palestinians again. Cool.
Oh my god. Who says that about somebody?
She's always talking about...
Crazy, Asmongold. I wonder...
The Constitution provides me with, go back to your own country and figure out your Constitution.
Yeah, so whenever people say go back to your country, it's a very tasteless thing to say. Like, you're obviously giving, like, a racist dog whistle. It would be one thing if people were arguing in good faith. Like, listen, if you wanted to give, like, a good faith conservative argument to this, you would be like, okay, you know, illegal immigration is a problem. You know, obviously we have to have, like, regulations in place for illegal immigration. Listen, I'm open to those arguments. You should come here legally, and we should have a legal immigration process, and we shouldn't award illegal immigrants too much. I understand it. Like, I get it. I hear you. Like, any, like, good faith conservative. That's, like, normal conservative and not insanely far right like Asmongold is. But then you have Asmongold who laughs when people say they should go back to their country, because Asmongold thinks that white people... Asmongold is somebody who scrolls through Twitter and he gets, like, psyoped into thinking that white people are, like, the ultimate fucking victim in society. He thinks that white people have been through historic oppression, that, like, we are, like, that they're the ultimate fucking victim, and that, like, every other race doesn't fucking matter. That's what Asmongold thinks, essentially. I mean, why do you think he overvalidates white supremacists like Nick Fuentes?
That's my boy. There it is. Oh my god.
It's interesting. Asmongold is willing to objurgate the Democrats so frequently, and he thinks that, like, they are awful fucking people, and then he'll constantly make up excuses for Trump, despite the fact that Trump is on the fucking Epstein list, and he's probably a pedophile that raped kids on Epstein Island himself. He constantly makes up excuses. Like, I remember seeing a clip of Asmongold saying, oh, just because Trump is on the Epstein list, that doesn't necessarily mean he did anything on the island with him. Oh, just because Trump did so-and-so, that doesn't necessarily mean he's guilty of anything. But then you have other excuses where it's like, oh, okay, but, you know, like, the Epstein files could be, like, a hoax. The Democrats made it up. I think that there is a chance that this could happen. Like, it's always an excuse for Trump. It's always, like, constantly making up excuses for him because Asmongold wants to suck the dick from right-wingers. That's really it. Like, Asmongold pretends to care about all these, like, issues, but then doesn't seem to give a fuck. Like, it seems like the right is totally chill with pedophilia. Like, they seem to be totally fine with it. Though some of MAGA is calling out Trump. Some of them are. But a lot of the right seems to be totally, like, meh with it. Or actually, honestly, fine with it. I mean, you have Megyn Kelly who thinks that, like, oh, like, Trump was with a 15-year-old. Like, 15-year-olds are basically adults. That's what, like, someone like Megyn Kelly is, who's, like, a failure of a mother. And then you have, like, Asmongold, who just overvalidates Trump, and then he overvalidates, like, Nick Fuentes, and then he hangs out with, like, people like Nuxtaku and Kirsch, who defend Lolicon. Like, okay, Asmongold, sure, yeah. Great roster you have here.
Wow. See, I've been waiting on it. Why we had to wait for this for so many years?
Listen, you should come here legally, but I also we have to understand, like, Asmongold doesn't understand that we have, like, a dependency onto illegal immigrants, and that if we were to kick all illegal immigrants out of the country, which Asmongold has said, but then again, you see, like, if you're in Asmongold's circle, you think every single illegal immigrant is the enemy, because Asmongold thinks that illegal immigrants come into the country to dismantle and destroy the U.S. government. And so, like, you have to understand that, like, illegal immigrants come here mostly, and there might be some bad actors, like, here and there, obviously. Like, there may be some illegal immigrants that, like, smuggle in narcotics and everything like that, and obviously they should be held accountable by the law enforcement of some kind, right? But a majority of legal immigrants come here because they're trying to start a new life, and they have, like, a family, so they want to start a new life with their family. We have one of the greatest countries in the world. If you're born in America, you are pretty fortunate to live here. There's a lot of countries in the world that are not so great to live in. There's a lot of countries in Africa that suck to live in. There's a lot of countries in the Middle East that suck to live in, like Saudi Arabia. You get killed for criticizing the government there. And they allow slave labor in Saudi Arabia and a lot of Middle Eastern countries, so that's fun. But yeah, in the United States of America, like, you are pretty fortunate if you can live here. Obviously, like, you can make an argument for today, like, under Trump's administration, it's not the greatest to live here because Trump has fucked up the economy extensively, and he just doesn't give a shit. He just wants America to be his, like, personal kingdom. That's really what it comes down to. But Asmongold is just over-validating, like, get out of our country, which is, like, it's a racist dog whistle. But Asmongold doesn't care. He doesn't care. He thinks white people are, like, the ultimate victim. It's white supremacist, like, rhetoric, honestly.
We should have been doing this right off the bat. Oh my God. Prove it. Yes, this is what we want to see. Yeah. Get these fucking foreigners out of our country, come in here, try to micromanage and tell us, oh, this isn't what America's about. Bitch, shut the fuck up. You just came here 5 years ago.
Who cares if they came here 5 years ago? Why does that even matter?
Gonna patronize everybody else.
If they're an American citizen, like, listen, they might be an illegal immigrant, but, like, you're saying, like, when someone says get out of our country, like, that's a pretty low blow in general. Like, what do you want me to say?
Who the fuck are you? You're talking about trying to work in the best interests of Somalia. Get the fuck out.
Oh, okay. So Asmongold probably watched the Nick Shirley video and overvalidated. I never reacted to the Nick Shirley video, but if you watch the Nick Shirley video, any normal person can come to the conclusion that Nick Shirley is a lying piece of shit, and that he is just, like, he's not even a real journalist. He just, like, fucking was, like, harassing tons of local businesses and claiming that Minnesota was doing fraud. Now, there probably was, like, some level of fraud that existed in Minnesota. Like, obviously, there were tons of people getting arrested there. So it seemed like the fraud was there to some extent, but I think right-wingers were exaggerating it a little bit to make it seem like a bigger deal than it was. And also, Trump was exaggerating how bad it was. And same for Kash Patel. He was exaggerating it. because Trump is a fucking pedophile on the Epstein list, and so they're just trying to distract from that.
They actually took down information to give us a rate. However, when we left, we were then met with the police.
Yep, told you. Asmongold, watch the Nick Shirley video. What did I say? Told you.
We received a complaint that matching your description, we're in this building.
Yeah, literally, if you watch this video, you would understand that, like, Nick Shirley was just going at these local businesses, and he was constantly harassing them over and over again, and claiming that there was fraud just because that was an assertion he made. Like, he went to a daycare, even though, why would there be kids in the daycare on, like, a weekend or at, like, that specific hour? And, of course, it's normal for buildings to be, like, blacked out or dark at that night. Or, sorry, not at night, sorry. Like, it's normal for daycares to have, like, covers like that, and it's actually become normalized in a lot of schools when you think about it, because, I remember at my high school, they would have those black covers on, mainly because of the rise of school shootings, actually. That's, like, one of the biggest reasons why they have those. I'm not sure if that daycare specifically has it there for that reason, but that is pretty normal to have on a lot of schools, and Nick Shirley was like, oh my god, they're trying to hide kids in there. Oh my god, there's a fraud going on. It's faulty fucking journalism.
Harassing the individuals who...
And he's trying to assume because they're Somali providers that everyone is fraudulent.
Okay.
So we're
He's here with
another
some kind of
Karen.
propaganda.
Yep.
This is a...
Why is she a Karen? Because Asmongold, they were literally harassing businesses. I swear to God, we literally... you guys can go watch some of my previous Asmongold coverage, but in one of those clips, Asmongold has literally advocated that it's okay to be racist as long as you aren't, like, in private property harassing people. But the moment Nick Shirley is, like, harassing all these private businesses, suddenly, like, there's a Karen for trying to, like, protect her rights. Like, Asmongold's a fucking goldfish. He doesn't care about anything. He doesn't care about anything that's happening. He doesn't actually... he has no values. Like, he will completely go against his own values as long as it suits his narrative. That's it. That's who Asmongold is, and he'll just say whatever makes him feel good. He's a fucking goldfish. He's a fucking moron and an idiot. He doesn't care about anything he's talking about.
that we're allowed to enforce trespassing ordinance.
And the Somali community is a very closed community, so everybody's in on it, and they don't want to talk, as you can see.
What would you have the police do instead if you were them? What would be your course of action? Genuinely curious.
Let me guess. Another call to violence. This is what's going to be Asmongold's take. How much you want to bet?
I would create a situation where the police would be afraid to defend these places because they would be worried about being persecuted. That would make it completely chaotic, and these people would then become terrorized by the people that are in this community that they are somehow trying to enable.
Oh, okay. So it's a fuck brown people dog whistle. Got it. Thanks.
Right? And
great take, Asmongold. Somalis are very dangerous people as a whole. Nice.
So the goal is for that to happen and to make it as unpleasant and awful for them as possible, so that way they realize...
So true, King! Based Asmongold! I can just picture, like, a bunch of Asmongold fans, they're, like, gargling Mountain Dew, and they're, like, fucking bobbing their head up and down to, like, metal music, and being like, Asmongold's so based! He's so based!
It's the mistake that they've made.
It's just like a bunch of weird incels that have never been outside in their fucking life.
Not only is this a call for domestic terrorism, oh, of course, right? The thing is, like, listen, these losers are not even worth responding to. They're not.
So why are you responding to him?
Even worth responding to or taking seriously.
And you proceed to respond. Listen, Mike from PA is a piece of shit. Like, he's, like, extremely anti-Semitic. Like, he's not a good person. But, like, why are you even bothering responding to him then?
At the end of the day, they want to come off on the side of illiterate, un-American immigrant Somalians rather than actual Americans, right? And, you know, at that point, I wonder who's really the one that's committing treason, okay? So, anyway, there's no reason to even take it seriously.
Okay, why even bother giving it energy to begin with, then?
They're just retarded.
So true, King. Wow.
Tell you something. This low-income, ignorant, delusional, brain-dead, third-world importation of all of these illiterate people that can't speak English, that have no fucking skills, live off the government, and are effectively parasites.
This is very interesting to me, because Asmongold grew up poor and was constantly living off the government. You want to talk about parasites? Asmongold is a fucking welfare baby. He grew up, like... if anybody was benefiting off DEI, it's Asmongold, because he grew up poor and taking care of his parents. Which, by the way, it's an honorable thing to do, to take care of your parents and everything. And, like, Asmongold, like, dropped out of school just so he could take care of his parents. That's an honorable thing to do. That's, like, the only thing I respect about Asmongold at this point. But I'm gonna be real with you. Asmongold failed his fucking parents. He failed his parents, who are no longer on this earth, God bless. I hopefully Asmongold was able to spend, like, his last moments with his father. For mainly his parents' sake, not him. But Asmongold fucking failed his parents by... I think it is a very disgusting and dishonorable thing to do, to immediately shit on people who you claim to be parasites when you were once part of that. You grew up poor, Asmongold. You grew up living off welfare systems, and now suddenly, the moment that you are rich and you decided to do content creation, you got famous because you got lucky more than anything, not because you actually put any effort into anything that you do. Now you're shitting on people who are third world and living off welfare, which, even though you lived off welfare, and by the way, that's also dishonoring both your father and your mother, by the way, so that's great, you know, that you're basically shitting on their graves with this take. Just saying. That's like, just want to make that clear.
In the United States of America,
I think it's a very shitty thing to do to dishonor your mother while she's in the grave, but okay.
Is a class war. All the comments saying...
And honestly, before anyone gets angry at that take, I know people are going to be like, what a disgusting thing to do to bring Asmongold's parents in. Before any of you get angry at it, we have to remember, Asmongold has justified the death of people plenty of fucking times on his stream. He justified the Minnesota woman dying and was, like, completely celebrating it. He was justifying people getting put into, like, slave labor. Asmongold is not a good person. He's not a good person at all. He constantly makes calls to violence all the fucking time and guzzles Trump and Nick Fuentes, who also make calls to violence against marginalized groups.
A Nazi? Guys, this is just like Adolf Hitler.
He is and remains a complete parasite.
I don't know what the fuck this is. This is like a Mein Kampf translated. I guess the narration is translated from like a verse in Mein Kampf.
A scrounger, like a harmful bacteria always spreading further. His presence produces the effect of a parasitic plant.
Listen, as Cruel World Happy Mind would say, it's interesting. That's what a Cruel World Happy Mind would say to this. And I'm just gonna leave it at that.
Wherever he settles, the people who welcome him will be wiped out eventually.
Because these fucking parasites have come in from other countries. They're stealing our money.
Parasites? How does it even make... What? They're parasites because they take a job? That's a...
Yes, of course they are. What is a parasite? A parasite attaches itself to a...
It's very interesting. Asmongold is a parasite to the fucking welfare system. He was, like, literally dependent on the welfare systems growing up as a poor person.
Host country, stay with me here. It attaches itself to a host, and then it extracts nutrients, resources, and life force out of that for itself.
Congratulations! Asmongold just unlocked the ability of cognitive dissonance. Hopefully you use it well.
The effect of his existence resembles also that of parasites. Where he appears, the host people die out sooner or later.
You think Hitler was very fucking cool?
Yes, I do.
YouTube, I don't think that Hitler was cool. That just so YouTube doesn't fucking take me down.
One of them.
And I'm tired of pretending he's not.
Well,
to be honest,
this is the problem. You see, it's a bit like when you just say I'm a racist. You're a racist who thinks Hitler.
I've already reacted to this short already. Like, I have a whole YouTube short covering this, but yeah, saying Hitler is cool is I just don't really see what's funny about that.
Hitler's cool, but you're not anti-Semitic. If you're a Jewish person watching this, what are they thinking? You think...
Listen, I fake laugh all the time. Sometimes I do it unconsciously. I think that's just like a thing that I do when I don't know what to say to something in the moment. Listen, I sometimes watch back on my videos and I'm like, oh wow, I guess I do like subconsciously like chuckle a little bit when I don't know what to say. I've been trying not to do that, but like this is like obvious fake laughter. I guess I shouldn't be talking. I mean, I kind of fake laugh a lot too, but it's like, even then, like, even if you are fake laughing, why are you fucking, like, this wasn't even funny. He's just, like, literally saying that Hitler was a cool guy.
Bro, we didn't shift the Overton window. We burned down the house.
just very crazy that he overvalidates a literal white supremacist, but okay, dude.
We burned down the whole motherfucking neighborhood.
And I do think, by the way, I do think that for Nick Fuentes does genuinely represent a primordial id of the disenfranchised, disaffected Western man.
Nick Fuentes represents nobody. The only people that resonate with Nick Fuentes are people that have an insanely large victim complex. Nick Fuentes is not a good person. He is a white supremacist. He has said he also does not like Jewish people. Like, who the fuck is Nick Fuentes resonating with other than the lowest of the low losers on the fucking planet?
And I think that whenever he says stuff like that, there is a catharsis that comes out of everybody.
Not me, and certainly not a lot of people.
Who is watching, and they're like...
Except people that have a victim complex.
Yes, that's what I was saying. That's what I think. Like, logically...
Wow, sounds like you have a massive victim complex, then.
There would never be a universe where I would say that I liked Hitler. If I did like him...
So why do you support Nick Fuentes, then? Why do you overvalidate everything he says if you don't support liking Hitler?
I'd lie and say I didn't like him, and if I didn't like him, I'd say that I didn't like him. So there's not really any sort of conversation to be had about it anyway.
Is this like a weird dog whistle saying that you like Hitler or something? Like, I don't understand what the point is here. Like, are you, like, Asmongold's literally just saying things.
Just common fucking sense, right? And
no, it's not.
So you sure you'd get banned?
Asmongold's such a fucking moron. Jesus Christ. He's so stupid. He's unbelievably stupid. Like, how did we go from Asmongold being normal? I remember in Conduit's I didn't react to Conduit's video watching Asmongold for 1 week. I haven't seen it, and well, actually, I did see it, but I didn't react to it, is what I meant to say. But, like, Conduit pointed out a clip, like, he actually gave a clip from Asmongold back in 2021, during the heat of when January 6th was happening. Asmongold actually had a pretty, like, I would say he had a pretty normal take about January 6th back then. He says that everybody who stormed the Capitol should be charged and should be let go. And then you have Asmongold nowadays, where he just downplays everything that happened in January 6th. He doesn't seem to give a fuck about it, and he fucking, like, absolutely makes excuses for Trump, despite the fact that he pardoned every January 6er.
Yeah, absolutely. If I was going out there and saying that Hitler was good, I would 100% get banned.
You would deserve to get banned for saying that.
This is especially true for young white men, right? Is that they have felt that they have been disenfranchised, disadvantaged, and there have been roadblocks put up in their lives that they don't think that they deserve to have, and they're angry about it, and they don't want to say sorry. They don't want to say, sorry, I don't like the idea that I'm being replaced or somebody who's a woman is getting an advantage over me.
Dude, shut the fuck up. Alright, like, enough with this dumb narrative. There has never been a story ever. You will never find any story online ever of a white person getting replaced by a fucking job by, like, a black person or somebody who's a DEI hire. You will never hear any of that story, and the reason why you won't hear it is because it doesn't fucking exist. This is a made-up problem in people's heads because Asmongold has been psyoped by a Twitter feed to, like, feel like he's the biggest fucking victim in the world. That's all this is. Like, white people are not the ultimate victim. There has never been a story where, like, DEI has been problematic for white people. Like, shut the fuck up with this take. And besides which, Asmongold, if anybody has benefited off DEI, it's you. Because you grew up poor. So, like, shut the fuck up.
Anymore. The main reason why people like Nick Fuentes are trying to normalize and make Hitler like an acceptable figure to like make jokes about and say positive things about.
Because he hates Jewish people, that's why.
Is because if you can break that stigma, you can effectively unlock a massive identity movement for white people. That's the reason why they're doing it.
White people are the ultimate fucking victim, guys, which means we need to break the stigma of Hitler being a bad guy. Dude, who listens to this? Who fucking listens to this garbage?
America is not white people's land, that's Europe? Well, it is. It absolutely is white people's land.
Technically not. Native Americans were here before us. But I mean, like, we are where we are now. So, like, obviously when people bring up, like, the Native American land thing, like, it sucks that a lot of Native Americans were displaced, and they that should be rectified to some capacity. But we are where we are. You know, obviously America's existed for centuries. We have to figure out solutions to the problem instead of just, like, constantly going about the history, but technically, no, it's not white people's land. This is, like, America has always been about immigration. Even before America was a thing, like, there were Native Americans here before us, so... Little history lesson for Asmongold, but because he clearly needs it. He's not educated on anything whatsoever. He thinks he's educated because he fucking scrolls through Twitter all day.
We fought a war over it. Duh, it got conquered. What? Absolutely it is. It's been our land for hundreds of years.
What war did we fight?
Of course. The U.S. is not interested in freedom or democracy. It's interested in our oil. Yeah, maybe you're right. But hey, if we got a bigger gun, then we're gonna get it. That's just the way it is. What the United States does criminal? Oh yeah, they're gonna interview Venezuelans that are over there and unhappy. They're gonna try to make it look bad, but no, it was actually a very good thing.
So there's Asmongold justifying Venezuelans getting disproportionately bombed by us. Cool stuff. I think it's very ironic that Asmongold will give this take that we shouldn't extend due process to other countries. Listen, we have the right to due process, right? That's a good thing. Due process means innocent until proven guilty. That is something a lot of countries, unfortunately, don't have a luxury of. I think any normal person would agree that innocent until proven guilty is a good thing. But then you have people like Asmongold who will say that we shouldn't be extending due process to other countries and bombing Venezuelan boats and bombing Venezuela's capital and doing all these things and pretty much stealing. Listen, the only reason why Trump did that was, one, for oil, and two, because he was best friends with Epstein for 15 years. So that's like the only, like, any like person that actually pays attention to politics would understand that that is like the main reason Trump did that, not for any other reason. Trump doesn't give a shit about the drugs there. He doesn't care. He's literally pardoned people who have been involved in massive drug trafficking operations. It's very ironic that Asmongold says that we shouldn't extend due process there, but then we'll throw a crybaby tantrum when Tectone gets false allegations of rape against him, and say that we need to apply due process, like, for something like that. Like, okay. Like, listen, I'm sure, like, I didn't do, like, a video on Tectone's allegations. I'm pretty sure that they were false, just to be clear. I'm not trying to perpetrate false allegations against Tectone. But, like, the point being that, like, if you're applying due process there, why aren't you extending it to other countries?
Oh, Cuba's days are numbered. Colombia isn't going to be doing this anymore. Okay, yeah, I could see there's definitely a trend here. You specifically said you'd be against foreign intervention and nation building. Why have you switched positions? If we can get enough money out of the place that we're intervening in, and we can effectively make it worthwhile for us, then I'd be okay with it. Does that make sense? So it's all about whether we're making money off of it. That's my primary function, is that I think about, is this good for Americans?
Guys, let me suck the cocks of all billionaires in America. Let me do that with my rotted ass teeth.
And even if it costs civilian lives, yeah, who gives a shit?
Let that dick stank, like, with my rotten teeth.
I mean, if the thing is that if you're gonna do this stuff, people are gonna get killed. That's what's gonna happen.
You don't care about people dying. You've literally justified the death of people plenty of fucking times on your platform.
It's gonna happen, for sure.
You've justified Palestinians getting slaughtered. You've literally justified a woman getting murdered by an ICE agent. You've justified Venezuelans getting disproportionately bombed. When did you ever give a fuck about people dying, Asmongold? Like, shut up.
I don't...
It's like virtue signaling. Like, okay.
Think Trump is doing enough. I think he should have federalized the National Guard and sent in the military on day 2. The second that they said that they weren't going to do anything and they weren't going to help ICE, I would have sent them in on day 2. Martial law also includes a curfew. Yeah, I want him to do that. Like, that's what I think they should do. And that way it just shuts this stuff down.
They're peaceful protesting. Why is it bad?
What the big problem is that people...
I bet if it was a white supremacist rally, Asmongold would be like, oh, yeah! That's what Asmongold would do if it was like a white supremacist rally.
Light stuff on fire, they destroy property, they basically just go apeshit.
Yeah, and ICE agents murder civilians indiscriminately that aren't even illegal immigrants, by the way, so they're just murdering anybody now. You have January 6th, which Asmongold downplays. You have the fucking El Paso shooting in 2019 that was motivated by hate crime on somebody that's far right. You had the Charlottesville driving in 2017. You have Paul Pelosi getting beaten by a hammer. Trump is literally laughing and making fun of it. And you also have right-wingers making fun of the Minnesota thing that happened yesterday. And then you have the fucking... what else? There's like plenty of others you can name. Trump's assassination attempt was done by a conservative as well. Literally, like, right-wingers are more violent than left-wingers. And that's just statistically proven, but Asmongold's not going to care because he thinks everything he sees in his Twitter feed, which is inherently a right-leaning platform, is a fact. That's what Asmongold thinks from his perspective.
And nobody has anything happen. And the mayor said it was Trump's fault. Yeah, watching him bonk the dude with a horseback. Yeah, a huge W. I mean, again, if you stand in the road, you should be ran over. I mean, I'm not really going to care a whole lot if that happens.
Hey, if someone is a...
See, that would be fine, but, like, listen, honestly, like, weirdly enough, saying you don't care that, like, somebody gets ran over, that's actually, like, weirdly enough, you don't have to care. I would extend charity if Asmongold actually gave normal takes, but he doesn't, because Asmongold is inherently a violent and emotional person, despite the fact that he tries to come off as, like, a normal and grounded person when he's not. He's a fucking emotional person, and a total incel that just rots in his fucking attic all day.
Part of a foreign terrorist organization that you don't have to give them due process and they can be deported. Now, the agents that I talked to...
They have to prove that they were actually
They're part of the group.
MS-13.
Yeah. It's like a lot of these people that they're finding, they're not going to just go out and explain exactly what their process and methodology was for finding them, is because then the people that are also here can reverse engineer that. Like, I'm sorry.
I don't even know what the fuck he's saying.
But like I'm
like, what the fuck are you even saying?
I'm a big fan of the 2 tiers. Okay, like we don't need to treat people that aren't citizens the same as we treat citizens. It's insane.
The scandal is
what? Okay, I have to listen to that again.
Finding them is because then the people that are also here can reverse engineer that.
I don't even know what that he was fucking saying there. It's just so like, okay.
Like, I'm sorry.
I feel like it's just like pseudo-intellectualism that I'm hearing.
But like, I'm a big fan of the 2 tiers. Okay, like we don't need to treat people that aren't citizens the same as we treat citizens. It's insane.
No, Asmongold. Even if you come here illegally, you still have the right to due process. You still have rights just because you're an illegal immigrant. Like, how would you know that they're illegal, or how would you know that they would commit crimes in the first place if you don't do due process? Once again, Asmongold, due process is a very good thing. You are lucky that you live in a country that has due process. You want to extend that to people like Tectone, who gets falsely accused of rape and sexual assault, but then you don't care when it happens to an illegal immigrant. There's a massive cognitive dissonance going on here.
The scandal is actually going to draw more attention onto the Trump administration's effort to deport these migrants to this very hostile prison where some men say they've been tortured.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have been here illegally. That's what I think.
Okay. We have a dependence onto illegal immigration. And listen, people come here illegally because we have one of the greatest countries in the world. I've already made this point earlier in this video, so I'm not going to go into it again. Like, I literally just made this point. But still... Like, how would you know if they were here illegally if you don't apply due process? Like, Trump indiscriminately applies is just, like, fucking deporting people. And, like, he's, like, rising the political temperature because he's just trying to distract from the fact that he's a fucking pedophile on Epstein Island.
Shouldn't have done it. Yep, nobody asked you to come here. Shouldn't have been here. Maybe then they'll watch this and they'll be like, okay, well, maybe I shouldn't show up then. Could this be a marketing ploy? Well, I think it should be.
Asmongold, like, we have illegal immigration because we have one of the greatest countries in the world, and also because we're dependent on illegal immigrants as well. So, Asmongold doesn't understand that, though. His brain doesn't seem to comprehend it because he's extremely stupid, and he thinks that right-wing shit in his feed is, like, a fact, a provable fact, I guess.
This does that mean they deserve to be tortured, though? I want to see what the conditions are.
What the fuck did he even say? Bro can't even speak properly.
Well, maybe I shouldn't show up then. Could this be a marketing ploy? Well, I think it should be. This does that mean they deserve to be tortured, though? I want to see what the conditions are.
Like, this is the guy who complains that there's, like, spelling errors on, like, signs or whatever, but you can't even fucking talk properly. Like, what?
Well, here's the question. If they were being tortured, would I agree to not send them there? No, I don't care. Don't give a shit. Shouldn't have come here. And also, maybe that's a good thing now that they know, so they know what's on the table if you break the law.
So, I don't understand. I don't understand how Asmongold can put all of his energy and his anger, because these are emotional arguments, despite the fact that Asmongold has dismissed arguments for being too emotional. But every single argument that Asmongold makes is based off of emotion. He says things because he feels good. He drinks Coke and rots his fucking health every single day in his room because it makes him feel good. He fucking rots his teeth out of his skull because he feels good. It makes him feel good. He's complacent in his little fucking kingdom that he calls his attic. I don't understand how somebody can say that illegal immigrants are a threat to America and that they're a threat. Meanwhile, you fucking excuse billionaires and you want to suck the cocks of billionaires who, like Elon Musk, who can basically cheat the tax system by taking a loan equal to his net worth. Elon Musk's net worth is like $700 billion. He's like close to being the world's first trillionaire. He could take a loan against his fucking net worth and pretty much cheat the tax system. He doesn't have to pay interest off of it. That's how the tax system gets cheated. Those people are a threat to every single American living in America every single fucking day of our lives, more than a guy who wants to start a new life with his family or wants to get a new job in one of what we're supposed to call the greatest country in the world. People like that are more of a threat than some fucking illegal immigrant. And instead, Asmongold just sits here and fucking decides to go out of his way to do this because he thinks being a nihilist is based and he thinks it's cool. He's a fucking moron. Asmongold is stupid. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He's completely enveloped by right-wing idiot cocksuckers in his fucking audience. I don't know what to tell you. That's who Asmongold is.
Is you get sent to some fucking torture prison in El Salvador.
See, here's the thing, right? Like, and I'm not trying to be an asshole, but like Asmongold, everything that Asmongold says, if he were to say this in public, this would be like a lot of people would feel pissed off and they would fucking like want to like hit Asmongold. And to be honest with you, if Asmongold had like something violent happen to him, I wouldn't feel sorry for him. And that's not a call to violence or anything, but I'm not trying to dog whistle that you should do something to Asmongold, all right? But hear me out for just 1 second. Asmongold has justified violence happening to people plenty of fucking times. Like, plenty of times he has justified it on his very own platform. So if somebody did it to Asmongold, for instance, right? Like, and because of the things that he was saying, quite frankly, as much as I think he deserves it, you shouldn't do it, you know, and that might shock some people. But the reason I say that is because Asmongold wants you to react that way. He wants to get his face punched. He wants some violent shit to happen to him. So that way Asmongold can have ammunition to go on a narrative about how he's a big fucking victim. That's it. That's really it. He wants to go on a narrative. His job is to rage bait his audience so that way somebody could do something violent and then he could portray himself as a victim of political violence or something and give more ammunition to say that the left is violent. That's literally it. That is the strategy that a lot of right-wingers use. You can't do it. As much as they fucking deserve it, you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't do it. They deserve it, but we're just going to leave it at that.
Maybe then they'll stop showing up. I respectfully disagree with that. Deporting them is fine. There's people who deserve to not be tortured. Well, then they shouldn't have been here. That's the way it is.
Okay, I mean, we're dependent on them, so...
It's pretty obvious to me that a lot of
lighting change.
Mainstream media is trying to present, you know, like us sending these illegals and these migrants to El Salvador is like a bad thing. Now, in my opinion, I think it's great. I'm a big fan of it.
I'm a big fan of disproportionately putting illegal immigrants in concentration camps without due process. I'm a huge fan of it.
We should do it.
But why is the left so violent? Why is the left throwing bricks at ICE? By the way, ICE is not police. They're like a mini Gestapo. They're Trump's personal Gestapo at this point. Why are they throwing bricks at ICE? Oh my God, why is the left so violent? Guys, you should, I'm so glad that Minnesota woman got shot to death in the face. And I'm so glad Palestinians get bombed endlessly. I'm so glad that Venezuelans get bombed endlessly. Oh my God! Oh my God! The left is so violent! Oh my God! Pick one, Asmongold. Can't have it both ways. Pick one.
More. And yeah, maybe Trump might respond or like scare them from doing it or not. But I think it's also very clear that the way that they report on these topics is extremely biased.
Okay. Who cares? Like, listen... I can be pretty biased in my coverage of situations as well. Sure, definitely. People can criticize me. But if they're correct, if people are reporting these stories in a way that's factually correct, who gives a shit if they're biased? Like, who actually cares as long as they're reporting the information correctly? Now, if they're lying, that's a whole different thing. Maybe you can, if they're, like, not telling the full story and you provide evidence. Asmongold's not going to do that, though, because he's a fucking lazy motherfucker. If you can provide that, that'd be great. But we all know damn well that you're not going to do that.
Like, I think that these news places, I think that they should have their news licenses taken away. I do. And every press, tell people don't let Nazi take power. Don't ever listen to the press. The press is the enemy of the people. These international organizations like the UN and the WEF.
Okay, the UN is an enemy. All right, sure, Asmongold. All right, cool.
Those are also enemies.
I think it's a very good thing that in, like, a normal society, we don't listen to people like this. I think that's generally, like, a good thing. It sucks that we live in a society where people like this can be taken seriously because the narrative is dominantly right, but yeah.
Of the people. They exist purely to subvert your goals, to destroy your country.
Wow, what a victim complex. Illegal immigrants exist to destroy the country. The UN apparently exists to destroy the country. The mainstream media exists to destroy the country. What an insane victim complex that he lives in.
And
this is why Asmongold's never going to have a meaningful life ever. Like, this is all he's going to be remembered for, is just, like, being a streamer who got lucky and got famous out of luck. Not anything that he did, just pure luck. And just sits in his fucking attic and rots all fucking day. This is who Asmongold is going to be. He's going to be known as a total loser, and eventually the bubble is going to burst. Like, we're already seeing that the bubble with MAGA and the right is, like, getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It's going to burst. It's only a matter of time. I would say give it, like, maybe 2 months. Maybe. Like, I would say maybe around March or, like, April is when the bubble is really going to burst with MAGA and, like, the Trump administration and everything. Because it's pretty fucking bad, but, like, it's going to burst, and once the bubble bursts, you're going to see all these right-wing grifters fall. You're going to see people like Asmongold fail, and people are going to hold him more accountable for his takes. And hopefully more people gain the courage to call out Asmongold, because at this point, and this might be a bold take, honestly, Asmongold's worse than Hassan. I said it. Asmongold is way worse than Hassan. Hassan is not a good person. He's a fucking lolcow, and he, like, shocked his dog and everything. Like, that's obviously all bad shit. I'm not, like, pulling any punches with Hassan. He's a bad person. I don't defend him whatsoever. But Asmongold, like, some of the shit he has said is objectively just way fucking worse than Hassan. Just saying. Like, he is infinitely worse than Hassan is.
Advance their own globalist agenda. They don't care about France. They don't care about your culture. They don't care about your religion. They don't care about
your culture of white people.
About your history. They don't care about anything about you. All they care about is using you as a vehicle to advance some worldview they have.
So true, King.
Never listen to any of them. If it was up to me, they would all be defunded and probably just made illegal because they're effectively government organizations that are working against the people.
Oh, okay. So you just turn anyone into illegal immigrants if you want, or just turn anyone you deem illegal, I guess. Cool. Nice. Asmongold. It's very good that we don't listen to idiots like this.
That's it. I would never fund a single fucking cent. That's what I would do. These international organizations that want to complain about human rights.
Jesus Christ, we're getting a massive close-up of Asmongold's teeth here.
They have no loyalty to anything other than their ideology. They have no loyalty to any group of people. They have no loyalty to any country. They have no loyalty to any culture. All they do is sit around and complain. Human rights, get the fuck out of here.
Cool.
They're eating the cats and dogs. Do you remember that? Do you want to know why that was an important call to action? Because it was supposed to indicate that these people are not like us. Now,
neither is Trump, who is a pedophile that you seem to run defense for a lot.
In my opinion, I'd eat a cat. I'd eat a dog. If it was somebody...
What a fucking weirdo.
I didn't like, I'd eat them.
What? Okay, so Asmongold is now pro-cannibalism? What?
I don't give a fuck.
I mean, I guess you would see someone like Asmongold in a fucking Texas Chainsaw Massacre horror movie, so I guess kind of. I'm not too surprised by it, but I guess Asmongold is now pro-cannibalism.
But I wouldn't base morality off of the ways that I think about things.
What an idiot, dude. This guy's so incredibly stupid.
I just wouldn't. I would. Like,
you are so fucking dumb.
In general, one thing I've learned in my years is that I have a moral compass, but it doesn't point north.
What a moron. Literally, all I have to say to Asmongold is, your time is coming. Once that bubble bursts for MAGA and the right, which it's gonna burst, it's just it's not a matter of if, Asmongold, it's a matter of when. But your time will be coming soon. And hopefully one day people will have the courage to call you out more because you absolutely deserve it, and people will expose you for the fucking right-wing disgusting freak that you really are.